Welcome to the MODUS booth here at Productronica. I'm joined by Mia Schonenberg, who has been involved in the development of two pretty exciting machines on the booth here today. So welcome. Yes, nice to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too. Nice having you at our booth.
Yeah, thank you. So you've developed a system here, and you've been very closely involved in the development called Sense 3D. And it's involved in, you've been very well known for doing line scanners in the past. And these line scanners don't use projectors, it's more a direct type of light.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit how that system works?
Yes, of course. So MODUS has a lot of experience developing flatbed scanners using line scan cameras, as you said. Mm-hmm. This system now takes this one step further. So we are not using line cameras anymore. We're using flat area scan cameras. Yeah. And we are using multiples of them to do a light field scan of the inspection object. So we have a scanner variant of this, which houses the cameras in a flatbed scanner, similar to our S3 scanner. Mm-hmm. So it's the same dimensions, same everything. You can just plug it in and replace it if you want. But due to the multi-camera approach, we can compute 3D information for the whole object. Right. And because we are doing some on-chip processing of the 3D data, we are actually very fast in computing the 3D data for the whole object.
Okay. All right. So let's break this down a bit. You've got like 9 different scanners in there. Is that correct?
Yes, it's 9 16 megapixel cameras.
Okay. And they're taking, it's like a triangular shape of the 3 different colors. Is it RGB?
Yes, they are color cameras. Yeah. We have a sophisticated lighting setup also, which does some diffusion of the light and some polarization of the light, which allows us to keep the reflections very low.
Right. So to be absolutely clear, it's a more direct type of light. It's not using projectors at all.
Yes. This is an important distinction to the competition. Mm-hmm. So we are just doing the images, and then we are processing the image data directly. Right. We are not dependent on any projectors, and we are not dependent on doing multiple imaging steps to also have the color information, right? If you are doing a projector setup, then you have to do the image with the projected pattern, and then you have to do another image with the color information. Yes. We can just do one scan. We have all the data we need, and from that we compute the 3D information, and it already includes the color information. Right.
So that's the beauty of this system. I mean, you can take in a large 5G board like the one that's been showing on the booth today, and scan that in literally 10 seconds.
Yes, 10 seconds is always the target for the full scan area of about 480 times 600 millimeters.
Yes. Okay. So the way it's set up at the moment is set up for top-line scanning, but the unit can also be inverted, I believe, or a second unit could be, and you could do double-sided scanning.
Yes, of course. It's the same, as I said, the same dimensions as our regular scanners, which can also be configured as a double system.
Right, and that would be the same capture time. It wouldn't be any different.
Yes, the capturing time wouldn't be any different because we are doing the whole 3D processing on the chip. Mm-hmm. So if we use 2 scanners at the same time, it doesn't increase the scan time at all.
Right, excellent. Well, it's a very exciting system. Sitting next to it, you've got another robotic system, which is on an arm.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that and how that's configured.
The robot system takes the same approach, the multi-camera approach, but just in a smaller scale, and uses the robot to gain a lot of flexibility. Mm-hmm. So we are using the same cameras, the same chip, the same processing, same everything. We just have it mounted on a robot arm with a also custom light unit, which also does UV light and polarized light to reduce reflections. Yeah. And then you can use the robot to move wherever you want, right? If you have a large board, you can move to a very specific point, only scan that, or you can do multiple acquisitions in a row and scan the whole board if you want. Okay. Or you can also have a look from the side if you want to look at, let's say, some connectors that are mounted 90 degrees to the side.
Right. So, I mean, is it being used purely for board inspection at the moment, or is it getting used in final box build or looking at 3D objects for scanning?
We are excited to try it out in all kinds of situations. We have one project which uses it to just inspect metal parts, right? So we are open to expand to different objects from the regular PCBs we are doing with our regular scanners, because, as I said, the robot scan gives you a lot of flexibility in what you want to do.
Yeah, that's great. Well, that's two very exciting machines. And I want to turn now, maybe have a quick word with Gerald, the CEO of the company, to talk about some of the business aspects.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So, Gerald, nice to see you, and congratulations on these two wonderful machines here.
Thank you very much, Trevor. It was a pleasure to meet you here in our booth. And we are launching this year the Sense 3D application. Is new stuff with completely different technology, as even in the market you can see. And it's light field technology which we're using, which we are not using any projectors for that.
No, Mia's given us a very good overview of
Right.
the technology side of the both systems. I want to talk to you a little bit about the business, where this folds in. Where do you see the applications? Was this driven by customer request for this type of application, or is this a sort of more of a blue sky development?
It's everything from both. The idea is almost 12 years old when we started with this development, and customers asking about 3D applications, especially for the back-end market, for box build and for one-piece flow application. This was the starting point with 3D application, especially with the robot. And during the time, more and more requirements come up, and also in the meantime, with the conformal coating, also that we have the conformal thickness measurement without any other tools, just for the calibration. And even new THT application also happens when you need 3D application also.
Yes.
So this enables us to bring different kinds of solutions. And one solution is to go with the mainstream, or is going with a different technology. And that's it.
One question I didn't ask me, and that is, how does this scanning technology handle large devices next to small devices?
Right.
Sometimes you get issues with shadowing and different types of things.
Yes. Also, we can capture one time. Then, of course, you cannot capture all between high and small components. So you can even capture with a slower
You can take
time. We take several images on that, and then we can compute it, and then we can see it inside of that. So if you make it quick and dirty, it's just one scan, which is good enough for the most application. But if you go for more deep inspection, then we need a longer time and more images to capture. And of course, every time when you increase, you have, now we have 30 gigabytes, then you have 60, and then you have 120 gigabytes. You're exploding your memory, but it depends on what the customers like to do. But we are able to do that. That's it depends on the customer. So the features are there.
Yeah. Interesting. So let's talk about the markets for it, because you've also been expanding globally as the supply chains are now sort of realigning, as it were, right, to different markets. Talk to us about how you're handling that.
Yeah, we have a strategy since several years that we are with distribution and with OEM partners. So OEM partners means they can use our technology and they can make it by themselves. We have only the software tools. They have a license for that, and they can grow the market in their, let's say, what they would like to do. Also with our help, which technology they can use, and even to expand and adapt to the local market requirements, especially for India. As you know, Modi has decided to invest for made in India products, and that's what we have done with Sony from NMtronics and iNet.
Well, it's interesting because Sony's actually here, so I think
yes,
if we can get him off the phone, we'll bring him in a minute.
Yes,
but it's an interesting area, India, at the moment, because they seem to be getting a little bit more closed off in some respects by putting restrictions on computers and cell phones and that have to get made in the country. Well, and so they pay quite a lot of import duties on. So just this has become expensive to ship machines like this into India.
We don't want to ship machines. We would like the technologies, only the scanner units or something like that. And the later stage is that we are training the partners that they made it by themselves. Oh. So that's one of the key features that they have. It's a technology.
Some of the dots.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Exactly. That is what our aim is. That we are the development company here. We make all the, let's say the software, the hardware, and we transfer. It's a technology transfer to these individual countries. Also, this is in helping those countries to develop even, and it's like made in India or made somewhere else. Yeah.
Excellent. So can we bring Sony in just now? Sony, I mean, you're distributing these products in India.
Distributor, we are the OEM partners.
You're the OEM partner. Well, that is just
that's a much deeper relationship compared to like a distributor.
Correct. In actual fact, Gerald and I were just talking about that. So essentially, you're building parts of the machine actually in India, because a lot of the way that India is working nowadays is putting pretty high import duties on bringing products into India. So if you make at least part of the machine, at least more than 30% of the machine in India, then it becomes more more affordable.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Trevor, for being an opportunity to be with you. It's always good to speak along with you. So if you look at Indian market, our government is pushing a lot for the Make in India initiative. And our company at Emtronics, which is an automation division called NMD Automation, we are making a very serious efforts for start building the machines in India. And MODUS is one of the company which I feel very proud of it, and they understood the market dynamics, and that's the reason we have an OEM kind of relationship. The core, the heart of the equipment, which is the scanner unit, is built by them. It's their technology, and they have to open it up to make sure that we can use our logo and we can use our GUI, and the entire mechanical frame can be developed in India. So it really helps in all the ways. For example, it helps MODUS to sell more the core technology equipment, which is scanners. It helps us to build the machines in India. It helps customer also to get the equipment at a much more competitive pricing. Because of course the scanner can be sent in a box, it can be air freighted very quickly, and we can be time to market can be very quick because we have our own automation unit in Noida, and we are planning to expand our operations in Bangalore as well by next year. So those equipments can be built in India, and it can be delivered to customer very quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
I would imagine this is going to be a special build because I mean, it's looking at the size of the machine, it's quite big.
Yes, it's a very special build. We have structured it based on the getting a feedback from all our special local EMS companies, what kind of size they want, what kind of a feature they want and everything. So we already made the machine. You have seen that one of the machine, the first build we have shown in Productronica India, Bangalore. We have received overwhelming response from all the customers, and they were very happy to see the machines are made in India. Of course, with the technology coming from MODUS.
So, I mean, Gerald, I'm assuming what happens is that some of Sony's engineers will come to you here in Germany for some training, etc.
Exactly, right.
And then, but you have a knowledge share essentially where you're developing different products going forward. So, are you also working together to look at future developments or what might be needed in the market?
Yes, we have started working on that, and I want to move to the phase-wise. The first phase definitely, which we have achieved from building the hardware for the machine. We will also start working on developing a scanner or some collaborative arrangement for building the software tools. Anything which can make the machine and the tools better and a more cost competitive, why not?
Great. Well, it's a very exciting time for both of you. And,
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for sharing your new developments with us here today.
For micro dispensing, there is one product line that is proven and trusted by manufacturers in semiconductor packaging, electronics assembly, medical device, and electromechanical assembly the world over. DL Technology, superior pumps and needles for the finer things in life.